Joining us now out of Nairobi for an update on the Kenyan markets is Samuel Wachira, General Manager at Francis Drummond and Company. Samuel, the Nairobi Stock Exchange is picking up for the second straight day. What exactly is driving activity there?
Well, thank you, Larry. Always a pleasure. Definitely, just like you noted, we're seeing the market picking up. Some of the things that we are seeing, especially on the macroeconomic front, is the interest rates, which have been going down and creating a lot of interest in the equity front. We also saw loan draw and other positive sentiments coming forward in terms of numbers, and also considering some stocks like Safaricom, which is trading income dividend. I guess investors are taking positions on those as well.
So overall, it looks like a good outlook. Will this continue?
Definitely, and also going forward as we go into June, we'll be expecting numbers to come forth for companies like East African breweries and even Q2 results for financials. So definitely going forward, we might see a lot of activity and also the bullish trend to continue going forward.
But there isn't too much bullish trend on Kenya Airways. It hit its share rights issue price ahead of the results out yesterday. Investors are a bit concerned about this right now after those less than favorable rights issue results, you know?
Well, for Kenya Airways, definitely, the numbers that have been coming forth and even the news that have also been coming forth have created a lot of activity on that counter, Larry. If you noticed, we saw it shoot up significantly when the news about Virgin Atlantic getting out of the UK route, but also because of the numbers that came forth, especially because of the rights. You're seeing investors beginning to pull out and also just to take positions, and also anticipation for the end-of-year results, which should be coming out anytime now because they issued a profit warning, and that also may make investors a bit jittery about the stock, and also their dividend payout, which already people are concerned because of the dilution of the rights, which might also affect investors in terms of the appetite for the stock.
Limuru tea and Kapchoro tea were the two biggest gainers of the market yesterday. Agricultural stocks appearing to pick up now.
Yes, definitely. I guess the thing that people are looking at now is the behavior of the shilling, which might favor some of these exporters, and also the fact that I guess the tea and coffee prices have also been looking fairly up in terms of the coffee exchanges and tea exchanges.
Bamburi Cement recorded the highest net inflow yesterday, about 3.88 million shillings of foreign investor cash flowing into that counter. At the same time, there was news that the NSSF was not able to regain its seats on the board. Yes, looking at the cement industry, there has been a lot of activity. We saw East African Portland board concerns and also the management concerns that we are seeing in some of these counters. But in terms of foreign activity, I guess what you could be seeing now is a shift from the bond market to equities, and some of the equities that have been fairly underpriced in terms of the market are the ones which we seem to see investors taking advantage of. And Bamburi, I guess, is one of them. But also even the management changes and the direction going forward for some of these counters is also indicating investor confidence in terms of how the performance goes, though the other concern for some of these stocks is the liquidity of the stock, which sometimes makes them trade very, very highly, just like you mentioned, Limuru tea. Why is there still so much interest in EABL? Well, for EABL, one of the factors is that they're just about to close their year, and also I guess there's a lot of anticipation in terms of how it performs. If you look, most of the companies this year, especially on the financial front, have been issuing a lot of bonuses and such payouts. I guess maybe the concern for EABL might be maybe they might want to issue a bonus issue of something or something of the sort, or something in that line in addition to the dividend payout. So that, I guess, is creating a lot of interest in terms of the stock. Let's talk to about the currency right now. It appears to be swinging here and there. Right now at about 85.45, what are you thinking about the currency? Well, the concerns have been the import-export situation of the market, and also central bank has been very, very strong in terms of ensuring that they shield the shilling so that it does not weaken any further. But going forward, I guess right now we seem to have hit some sort of a resistance level whereby it might not go much higher than that. But I guess the concern is still very strong in terms of how the shilling behaves. And looking at how central bank took their stance on the CBR, we expect that the shilling might be able to be strong enough and hopefully be able to get back to where it was in the 82 range. The interesting development tomorrow, the Kenya budget is read, and indeed most of East Africa. What are you expecting from Njeru Githai, the finance minister? Well, looking at how we performed last year and the anticipation, especially because of the budget that we are looking at with the new constitution and as well as the elections coming year, definitely it's going to be a tightrope for our finance minister. But looking at it in terms of especially the foreign financing and sovereign debt, we might be able to still strike a balance in terms of how we are able to still sustain that. I guess the concern for now will be to try and make sure that we shift from more of the recurrent expenditure to concern about capital expenditure in terms of growing the infrastructure and even our capability to generate these funds.
He made an interesting statement in Arusha a few days ago that Kenya has decided to live within its means, basically to reduce the amount of foreign participation in the budget or amount of donor investment in it.
Well, looking at it from an ideal point of view, definitely that's something that we might want to be able to do for a country. But even as the situation stands, we are talking about the government already in an arrangement to get sovereign financing because of some of the infrastructure projects that we already have. So I guess the challenge right now would be to make sure that we really work towards developing our import-export and some of these sectors that generate wealth, and hopefully we'll be able to still support our own budget expenses.
In the fixed income segment, I'm seeing some researchers saying the general yields have been on a downward trajectory, and that is perhaps expected that to dominate tomorrow's auction. Do you agree?
Well, looking at it in terms of the fixed income segment, yes, we are actually expecting a 10-year bond, which is one of the things that we've not seen in quite a couple of years now because of the behavior of the interest rates. But we've been seeing a downward trend on the 91-day bill, and definitely when you see the government even issuing a long-term bond, it seems like they are trying to put a rein on the interest rates, and hopefully we'll be able to see a lot of activity on that front. And with the shift now towards equities, I guess we'll see a lot of stability on that front, and hopefully the uptake for this bond will give a good direction on the yield rates.